Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. What can you say about what it means to be representing Missouri and representing the offense there at SEC Media Days?
It's exciting. When I first got to Mizzou, you get to see your teammates go every year. So now to be in that position, it's nice. It feels good to know that your teammates look up to you and see you as somebody they want to lead them or represent them. It's a good feeling, and ultimately, it's who I do it for. I want to do it for them and represent Mizzou to a high standard.
In the front row here.
Hey, Connor, we just heard from Zion. Obviously, I know you play on the opposite side of him, but what kind of energy does he bring to this team just day in and day out that we are able to see?
Yeah, no, Zion brings the juice for everybody. When we're at workouts, it ain't just offense, defense. It's everybody, and he's that guy. He brings it, and that's one thing with Zion is you're going to get it every day. He's consistent.
We'll stay on the right side.
Connor, going up against, that defense, all the time at practice, just what are some words to describe, what that defense is about and, what they're going to bring to the field every day?
Fast and physical. Every day, they bring it. They ain't got no off days. I wasn't there in the spring recovering from injury, but I know when I get there in fall camp that it's going to be there and it's going to be fast.
A lot of schools in this conference get a ton of attention. You guys get your share of it too. Are you proud of the number of wins you've chalked up the last couple of years?
Is that your question?
The number of wins you've accomplished, that's a pretty good feat.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the culture that we've, built at Mizzou, and it all starts with our strength coach, Ryan Russell, and what he does in the weight room. He preaches an elite edge, and I think that's just what everybody's bought into over the years. And, it's contributed into wins on the field, too. So
We'll go on the back row.
You started pretty early in your career. What's gotten easier or more manageable as you gain more playing time over the course of your career at that position?
They say the game slows down, and I think there's some truth to that. So, as I've been playing more, I feel like the game slowly came to a speed that I can see things, make the right calls. When you get in those pressure situation, you kind of felt like you've been there before, so it was not necessarily anything new to me. So I'd say that's what you gain the most from experience.
Go on the front row again.
Connor, when you have kind of a change in leadership at the quarterback position when Brady goes, and obviously you're in a quarterback competition now, what's kind of the challenge of that change in leadership, change of voice, on the side of the ball?
I think, it's just time for other guys to step up their leadership, and, I think I'm in that position to do so. I'm just lead the guys and whatever they need on or off the field, if they're struggling on the field with scheme or off the field in the classroom or, in life, like they can come talk to me like I'm a guy, I'm just another dude on the team. Like I'm not going to judge you or look at you any way, shape or form just because you're having a tough time. Like I want to be there for you and help you get through that. So.
Left side, third row.
Good morning, Connor. AP Stidham of AP as we see it. Connor, what can you tell the folks about the Kansas-Missouri rivalry?
It's a big one. Been getting a lot of questions today about it, and I think it stems a long time ago. They haven't played in it's got to be 10, 13 years now. So I think the fans are excited, but I would say these players, us, and I bet they are too, are excited to kind of renew that. That border war, as you could say.
On the left side again.
Both of your teammates we got to speak to shared memories of the come-from-behind win against Auburn last year. Brady leaving the game early, Drew stepping in, Brady coming back from the hospital.
Yeah.
Your memories of that, what you experienced, your experience of that, and then what you're going to remember about that game.
It's kind of crazy, you're out there playing and he gets hurt, obviously, so a little, you get fled with these emotions like, man, this is my friend, this is the starting quarterback, he goes down, like, is he going to come back? There's some uncertainty. So, we're all trying to rally behind Drew, hey, Drew, you're our guy. You're going to lead us in this thing. Like, let's just keep pushing forward. And then out of nowhere, they're like, yeah, Brady's going to be back. He's in the locker room, like he's going to be out here next drive. So, I think it just showed the toughness he had and, what it meant for him to play for Mizzou. I think, you know, we're all, you know, nowadays at the school, and, you know, we play for the name on the front, but I think, you know, sometimes that meant more to him than the name on the back. So.
You have a great heritage at your school. Are there former Tigers you've gotten to know that you've been friendly with or had an impact on your career?
Yeah, I'd say right now, you know, Evan Bain, former Mizzou center, you know, played in the league. He's come back to help us and be around the offensive line as a coach and assistant. So I think as a former player, he's helped us out a lot.
Okay. Right side.
What are some personal goals that you have set for yourself this season and that you hope to accomplish that can help bring success to your team?
You know, as a center, you know, you want to win the Remington. You know, I haven't accomplished that in the 3 years I've been playing center for Mizzou. So I would say that that's my biggest personal goal. But ultimately, team success to me is more important.
You've heard it said the offensive linemen on a team are sometimes the most interesting and insightful guys to talk to. Why is that the case?
Oh, man, I think, you know, offensive linemen always keep it honest with you, keep it real. You know, we're going to tell you how it is, you know, not going to sugarcoat nothing. And I think, you know, we're guys that love football, but, you know, we love things outside of football. So, you know, we have a lot of passion for other things. And, you know, I think offensive linemen are just the best guys in general.
Left side.
Is it more meaningful, this career that you're having in your home state, you know, playing as a Missouri guy, playing for Mizzou?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, you know, a guy tells you I've transferred, some might ask how many times, you know, like there's guys transferring 2 or 3 times throughout their college career. So to be in one place and to know I earned my spot and, you know, made it on the field for Mizzou, you know, as a kid from Missouri, like it does mean a lot. It really does.
One of the key things for linemen is versatility. How important do you think it is to be able to start at more than one position?
It's huge. You know, versatility is availability. I mean, if you can play left, you know, and then you can play right, you know, they feel comfortable putting you on both sides. Like that's only going to increase your chance to play. If you can play guard and tackle, I mean, your value just went up immensely, you know, because those are 2 positions that aren't easy. So, yeah.
We have a good talker. Any final questions? One here on the aisle. AP.
What's the difference when you're blocking for the couple of quarterbacks, their style of how they fit in the pocket? And
nothing, you know. I mean, half the time, you know, I wouldn't know who's back there. You know, you kind of always trying to block the same. The interior is more for firming up the pocket, and the tackles are more for the width and depth. So, you know, it don't really matter who's back there. I'm just trying to give whoever the best pocket possible.
Final question on the left.
Have you talked much with Sam? You know, trying to be a dual sport athlete, and obviously he's got some. You know, he was drafted earlier this week in the Major League Baseball draft by the Dodgers. You chatted with him much about his football career and his future with the team?
No, not a whole lot. We have talked before. I mean, he's going to play football for us in the fall, and then go on and, you know, choose what he wants to do with baseball after that. But yeah, he's committed to football. You know, it probably, you know, caused him to get drafted a little lower than what he should. You know, he's probably a top 100 prospect, and I think he probably fell because he is committed to football and he is committed to the Tigers, and he will be there this fall.
Connor, thank you very much. Good job. Stay healthy. Good luck.
Thank you.